Well, hello, I am Max James.
And I'm Scott Cooper.
We are the Two-Ton Nerds.
And we're here to rock your world.
Well, Scott, we are retouching...
Hang on. I got a text message. Okay. Keep going.
Alright, fine. Scott, I guess we are retouching on an earlier subject.
Yeah, kind of. I've been promising people that I'm going to review Dead Space 2 for about 3 weeks now, and each week I always put, this week, coming, Dead Space 2 review, and I never go through with it because I'm a dick. You go ahead and say it right now, like, Scott's a dick. Go ahead. Get it out of your system. Okay, there you go. You got it out of your system. Now, if you say it again, I'm going to pop you in the mouth. Alright. Okay. So, today is going to be my review of Dead Space 2, and as an extra special bonus for some viewers out there, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So you have to stay tuned. I know how you feel about both games. Anyways, Dead Space 2 puts you in the role of the main character from Dead Space 1. You're the protagonist, Dr. Isaac Clarke, who is really an engineer. So I don't know if he's doctor. That's up to you to decide. Anyways, Dead Space 2.
Remember, if we're going to... Spoilers. You would say spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything.
I did.
Well, you spoiled the movie, I know that.
But it's not really spoiling for the movie if you already know how the movie's going to end.
You already read that information. But I'm not going to spoil anything on anybody, so you don't have to worry about that. But anyways, the game itself, as a whole, is an amazing experience. I have not been like a third-person survival horror game. Resident Evil 5 was terrible. Like, you can take it in the back and shoot it. I don't want it. I can't stand that game. It's just, that's how I feel about it. I just hate that game. And I didn't really care too much for the first Dead Space. I don't know what it was. I liked the idea of it, you know. I liked, oh, zombies in space. Oh, shit.
Are they really zombies, though?
Yes and no. They are these things called necromorphs. If anybody's played the first one or the second one or even Ignition or Extraction, you'll know that they're called necromorphs. And the only way to actually beat them is not just shoot them in the head, you know. You have to shoot the arms, limbs, legs off, or
Dismemberment.
Just dismemberment. I mean, that's the whole name of the game with Dead Space, which kind of adds an extra twist to it. You know, it's not like it's we gotta shoot them in the head. You know what I mean? Because I mean, Resident Evil 4 added if you shoot them in the head, Lost Plagueis comes. You know, which was always cool. You know, you just don't shoot them in the head. Anyways, dismemberment on Dead Space 2. It feels it's gonna be the same as Dead Space 1. I didn't really make it far into the first Dead Space, so I really can't comment on that one. I'm hopefully going to buy it soon, see if I can jump back into it. I don't know if I can or not. But the second one really blew me away. It was just intense action scene, sprinkled in with some horror every now and then, which is nice. And I said horror, not horror. But it's nice though because, I mean, every now and then you're like sitting in your room alone, you know, you're sitting there and you're like, I'm going to play a game. You shut off the light, you put the game in, and all of a sudden, bam! You're scared. That jump scene. We're missing a lot of those jump scenes. As we said, we're missing a lot of those in movies and everything, but to have a good 3 or 4 jump scenes in a game is always awesome. So, I would say Dead Space 2, as a whole, is a really enjoyable experience. If you've ever played Resident Evil 4, and you're into the third-person survival horror aspect...
Over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder? Yeah, it's third-person over the shoulder.
Not all third person.
It's third person.
No, that actually really, Resident Evil 4 was more over the shoulder than anything.
Yeah, but it's third person.
Yeah. Because the camera was like literally...
I get it. It's over the shoulder. I mean, they're both over the shoulder aspects, but it's a third person shooter in a way. I mean, it's not like Uncharted. It's not like Gears of War. That's third person, I guess, if you want to say it like that. But I mean, to each his own. Third person, over-the-shoulder survival horror genre, then you would love Dead Space 2. It is absolutely amazing. The single-player experiences. The multiplayer experience is kind of a little bit, meh, if anything. I mean, it's cool that they added to it, and it's also cool that they don't have, like, you have to get trophies for it, you know, which is always kind of a downside on some games, because, like I've said before, you don't always have internet for your game system. You know, they don't force it down your throat, like some games do. Resident Evil.
Uncharted.
2 trophies for Uncharted. That's a completely different thing. Anyways, No, with Dead Space 2, the multiplayer aspect is, this isn't really spoiling anything. It's you pretty much have a team of humans versus a team of necromorphs. The team of humans has all those good weapons that the humans have. The team of necromorphs have all those non-weapons that the necromorphs have. And it's pretty much like if you're a necromorph, you're going to get sliced into mincemeat. That's no question about that. This is the first multiplayer game that you actually have to work together as a team that I've actually encountered before. Like, it's not like a Call of Duty where you can just go off and be Rambo on like some other screen. It's not like, it's not like a Borderlands game where you can just be just absolutely amazing or anything like that. But this game is actually like, holy hell, I have to, if I don't work together with these people, I'm gonna die a lot. And you will die a lot as a necromorph. As a human, not so much, because you can just sit there and just dominate. I mean, you can actually go off by yourself as a human and be Rambo. But if the necromorph's getting up on you, then there's no way. Multiplayer though, it's a little bogged because of that, because it's not as fun when you don't get people who are, really into the game to just sit there and want to go, oh, hey, I'm gonna fuck around. And you get a dumbass who wanders off and you start to yell at him, he calls you a dumbass because apparently working together as a team is a terrible idea. But
team-based games are terrible ideas, but team.
Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of people who just don't want to be part of a team. They want to sit there and do their own thing, and then when you try to yell at them, they're like, you're not the boss of me. But anyways, that's enough about the multiplayer. If you're going for multiplayer, don't buy the game based on that. We'll just say that. Back to single player. Single player, as a whole, is amazing, as I've said before. From start to finish, it is just absolutely groundbreaking to me. It's just, I've never really played a game that has kept me from the very first point. I'm not going to spoil the first scene of the game, but the first scene of the game is really awesome. Like, it really kind of shocked me. I know you're sitting there wondering, like, what the hell is he talking about? I can't remember the first scene, but that first scene of the game was exactly what I needed to jumpstart me into that game. It just got it perfectly.
Well, that dude's head get ripped off.
Kinda, pretty much. Like,
I know what the first scene is.
Good. Well, not the first scene, but your first sequence is Isaac. You know what I mean? Not like the whole camera.
When the dude takes a knife and cuts his own head off.
Kinda. But no, when the dude slices his neck, that's one of them.
I know, I'm trying to
sabotage. Yeah.
But I'm in a good way.
But no, like it's pretty bloody. I mean, and overall, it's a really fun experience. I mean, I would like to do some gameplay here soon. I have a webcam at home or whatnot. I'm gonna show you some gameplay footage probably a little bit later on. Mostly on hardcore mode because that's the one mode I have yet to tackle.
If that way you will get your.
That's when you only get 3 saves, and the whole game you get 3 saves. Reminds me of the old Resident Evil games. You know what I mean? It only gives you like 1 or 2 ink ribbons, and you go through there, and if you die, you go back to your last save. There are no checkpoints, no nothing, and there's hardly any ammo. There's hardly anything. If you beat that game mode, you are truly a gamer.
It's raining, by the way.
I know it's raining.
Alright, now we're on your special one.
Yeah, enough about Dead Space 2. It gets a 5 out of 5 stars from me.
I thought yours was 10.
Nope. I watched X play the other day. It was 5. I changed mine to 5.
Well, thank you.
It gets a perfect rating from me.
Thank you for robbing me.
I robbed you. I'm sorry. Anyways, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 works like this. I didn't like the second one all too much because every time I got online, I got my ass kicked. I guess it just wasn't good enough. The third one, it's better because I get online and I kick ass. Somewhat. It has less characters than the second one. But it has less characters that has more variety in a way because the second one had like clone characters like Iron Man and War Machine are the same character. Wolverine with metal claws, Wolverine with bone claws. Same character. I didn't notice any damage difference. I don't know if you guys did or not. I didn't. Then we have, let's see here. The third one, the only complaint I have about that is there's only like 6 or 7 stages. That's it.
Is it worth your $60?
It's not worth my $60. It's worth $40. It would be a damn good purchase for $40. But it's just not worth it. And not to mention, they're already talking about downloadable content coming out for it. I ain't part of that.
Okay.
That's enough for me. But anyways.
Closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts on that is simply put, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. No. Gets a 3.5 out of 5.